Stuck? These 2,000-year-old quotes solve problems better than your favorite guru. First up, we have clear the mud. The quote is, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man." And it was said by Heraclitus, who was a philosopher back in the 500 BCE. This just means everything is always changing and we can't ever repeat the past. So when you're stuck trying to fix something that isn't working, realize that the only way to fix it is to change. You have to either change how you do things or you have to change what you're doing. Nothing will ever be exactly the same again after you fix this. So don't try and return to how things were before. Instead, focus on making things better than they were before. Next up, we have fix the root. The quote is, "A house is no stronger than its foundation." And it was said by Confucius, who was a philosopher in ancient China back in the 500 BCE. If you're struggling with something right now, ask yourself, what is the foundation of this? What is the base level from which I'm operating? It may seem like your problem is X, Y, or Z, but if you peel back enough layers, you'll find that there's an underlying cause that's the real issue. Fixing the root of the problem is almost always much easier than fixing the problem itself. Then we have, do the hard thing. The quote is, "If you want to be strong, learn how to fight your own desires." And it was said by Epictetus, who was a philosopher in ancient Greece around 50 CE. A lot of the time, the hardest thing you could possibly do is also the most important thing you could possibly do. For example, if you want to become financially free, then the hardest thing to do is to save money and invest. But that's also the most important thing to do. If you want to lose weight, the hardest thing to do is to eat healthy and work out. But that's also the most important thing to do. If you want to become a better version of yourself, then the hardest thing to do is to improve yourself. But that's also the most important thing to do. If you want to become strong in any area of your life, then the most important thing to do is to do the hard thing. Do the one thing that you know will move you closer to your goal. Then we have see with the mind. The quote is, "It is not events that disturb men, but their judgments about them." And it was also said by Epictetus. Most of the problems that we face in life are not actually caused by the situation that we're in, but rather they're caused by our belief about the situation we're in. This goes back to the idea that we're all Stoics, and we can control our perception of reality. We can choose how we think about the world. So next time you're in a tough situation, take a step back and think about how you can change your mindset. What's another way to look at this situation? What's a more productive thought pattern to adopt? Finally, we have measure twice, act once. The quote is, "Quick decisions are unsafe decisions." And it was said by Sophocles, the Greek playwright who lived around 400 BCE. We live in a world where people are rewarded for being fast, for being quick, for being impulsive. But sometimes it's better to slow down and think about things a bit more. Measure twice, act once. This is especially true when it comes to big decisions. When you're deciding between 2 or 3 different paths, it's important to weigh the pros and cons of each path carefully before you decide which path to take. There's a saying in Japanese, "The nail that sticks out gets hammered down." Basically, when you stand out or when you're different, others will try and punish you for that. That's why it's always safest to fit in, to blend in with the crowd. But here's the thing. When you think about the big picture, you realize that everyone else is doing the same thing. Everyone else is trying to fit in, so standing out makes you unique. It makes you special. And when you're unique and special, you're able to get whatever you want. So don't be afraid to stand out. Don't be afraid to make bold moves. Just make sure you measure twice and act once. These are just a few of the many lessons that we can learn from history. History is full of wisdom that can help us solve our problems today. So if you're ever feeling stuck, just remember to clear the mud, fix the root, do the hard thing, see with your mind, and measure twice and act once. Thank you for watching this video.